Wanna pop some pee on some Dragon D? You may never see your half-dragon kid grow up. How long will your baby daddy be around? Let's look at the lore within the mating manual. Talk about some historical context about dragon reproduction and aging. First things first, let's address the elephant in the room. What are the dragon ages? Well, everything from a hatchling being 0 to 2, fledgling 3 to 20, all the way up to an ancient being 1,000 plus. But if you're in the Dragon Haven Eritis where the goddess of the void rules over, this is pretty much your funeral date. Because mortals that exist within Bayshire Witches Cypher's holy city must toss themselves over the edge of the city into the void at the age of 60, but that is extended to dragons up until the age of ancient status, which is 1,000. That actually raises the question, would a dragon fight to stay alive longer? Do they get stronger with age, or do they kind of become a little feeble? If we look at the history of red dragons and Igni, the spirit of fire and metal, which is basically a god in my manga series, one might think, yes, dragons do get weak when they get older, because Igni killed all the red dragons when they tried to attack him upon descending onto the world. At the end of the day, there was a single ancient red dragon left, but he was too old and feeble to fight off the hunters that was coming for his kind, because dragon hunters were still a thing back then. And he had a single clutch that would later become his kids, Igni's kids, who are all ancient red dragons as of today. So the reality is it actually depends on how a dragon lives and grows that will determine its status at the end of its life. As we know by looking at the mating manual, dragons within Eritis, Cypher's holy domain, are by far some of the weakest dragons that exist because they don't fight. Sure, they get a little bit of combat training, but for the most part, they're engineers, they're workers in the infrastructure of the city with sanitation, architecture, medicine. And while they do have a duty to defend the city, they, for the most part, aren't fighters because nothing attacks the city. And that's because at its shortest distance from the nearby surrounding land, it is 75% the length of Texas, radius-wise. Even the monopropelled Blitz Dragon is going to be hard-pressed to make that flight. But for other dragons, it's going to solely depend on how much fighting that they've done. Because of the world where all my manga series take place, there is a concept known as soul hardening. The more you struggle, the stronger you get. That's why some characters like Lady Petals can burn 6.6 Texas's worth of landmass down with one attack. That concept applies to pretty much all living things, but especially dragons. If they are not continuously striving and struggling to be stronger, by the time they hit ancient, they can be pretty feeble. When I say feeble, I mean they have problems getting up because they weigh so much. Their bones can barely support them. When dragons die, Reaper has two choices with their souls. They can follow the normal process of guiding their souls to the afterlife, whether it's heaven, hell, the Daiju, or one of the gods' afterlife. Or she can leave the soul in a dragon graveyard with their body, and their souls will now become guardians over their bodies. Because dragon remains can be used in all sorts of rituals, including a spell for people to get impregnated through their corpse to deliver. Kirkeen, like her mother, used Baltron the Black's corpse to get her pregnant so she could have a kid for the cult. Usually within these graveyards, there's something called a Draco Lich to physically help the dragon's souls guard that graveyard. But if a dragon truly does continue to push itself to be stronger and stronger, it can live for thousands of years even. There is no limit that people have recorded as far as a dragon who continues to push their lifespan to. See the bio if you'd like to support the mating manual, or grab a copy of my mangas, The Devil's Deal or Night of Slaughter.